Hari Om, Namaste. You are not lazy. You are not unmotivated. And you are definitely not broken. What's actually happening is you are leaking your energy in ways that nobody else has taught you to see until this point. Suppose you wake up tired even after 8 hours of sleep, restful sleep. You are feeling foggy and demotivated and drained after talking to a colleague, to a friend, to a family member, and having that meeting with few people, and you are feeling like you are just like lost and feeling demotivated. Or even suppose that you are crashing down in the middle of the day after doing nothing. What's actually happening deep down is you are bleeding prana or life force in subtle cracks through the daily life that you are not conscious of till this point. My name is Dr. Deb, and I am a Vedic healer and a holistic health coach. I help early and midlife busy working professionals heal naturally, live sattvikally, and lead consciously. In this particular session, I would be talking about 5 real life pranic leaks that you must be taking note of, and 3 yogic practices, what to do about them. I have made details note for you, and just wait for our yoga philosophy section. With that, I welcome you all to day 80 of 108 days of Surya Namaskara or Sun Salutations practice. First, we will complete the yoga asana physical practice, and then in the discussion part, we will learn all about what I just mentioned. And by the way, stay tuned. If you have not hit that like button, subscribe button, or the bell notification icon yet, do that. Join me from now on, if not already, till the end 108 days of the Surya Namaskar practices to learn all these life hacks. Come on, join in the mat. Get ready for a mind-boggling discussion on Pranic Leaks and some yogic measures on how to restrain them. So in yoga, your life force, your prana, your vitality is much more than your blood or just the oxygen or your ATPs. It's called Prana Shakti, your vitality, your vital life force. And that leaks faster than the blood or oxygen, unfortunately, and even more subtly. So, what are the 5 flow of prana in human body, in a living organism? So, there are 5 vayus or pancha vayu that govern different functionalities within the body, which relates to movement, the flow. Number 1, the prana vayu. The prana vayu is about intaking of our energy. For example, intake of the breath, and it corresponds to heart and the lungs. Prana vayu, okay? From outside, the vayu comes inside with the energy of prana vayu. Then udana vayu is the opposite. Udana vayu corresponds to your expression, corresponds to your throat and your head. It corresponds to your expression, your enthusiasm, your speaking, and your basically you expressing yourself outside, outward directed. Okay, so that's the udana vayu. Prana vayu, udana vayu. Then apana vayu. Apana vayu is your downward flow, whatever excretion we do, like our stool, urine, like the semen, whatever it goes out. For the female, the menstrual flow, whatever goes downward, that downward energy is happening due to the functioning of the apana vayu. Then samana vayu is the digestive vayu, the digestive vata, air energy, wind energy, that is corresponding to the abdomen, which helps in digestion of the food that we consume, right? And last but no less important is the vyana vayu, which is corresponding to the entire body. It relates to the circulation of all the blood, all the nutrients, all the rasadhatu, everything. When the heart is pumping the blood throughout the whole body, that is happening fine by the functionality of the vyana vayu. Now, when one or more of these vayus are misaligned, they are leaking more, much more than what it should in a day-to-day life, that's when we feel tired, exhausted, brain fogged. We don't have energy to do our regular tasks. Even if we know what to do, we are not sure how to show up in a group because we are feeling so sucked up. And even more when we are inside the circle of a group of people or talking to somebody, having the Zoom call in the meeting, we feel completely gone, right? These are because that we are leaking our prana in the following 5 significant ways, and I have made detailed notes for you today, which we will go one by one. Number 1, the reason that we are leaking is oversharing without containment, without boundaries. When we keep on sharing, talking too much, when we are going in a meeting and we are spending hours than what it is needed without saying a no for the unnecessary ones, when we are expressing ourselves, when we are leaking our emotions too much outwardly without taking the time to go inward, that's one. Oversharing, overactivating our udana vayu in this case without having any containment or boundaries. Okay, for example, even when you say yes to help a friend and you you shared emotionally too much, then what you hold yourself to keep your internal balance, that's when you also are leaking, right? So oversharing without containment. Number 2, saying yes to misaligned requests. You know that some of the requests, which probably by your habitual practice you have been saying a yes to every single time, but you don't really want to, intend to. When you say many of those day in and day out, one after the other, that's when you start leaking, because that's not responding to your soul calling, your inner calling, but rather that's called conforming to what society, the peers, the family members, the colleagues, the friends expect you to do. So saying yes to misaligned requests are your second of the prana leaks. Number 3, unprocessed emotions like anger, guilt, grief, shame, whatever it is, which are unprocessed, that's crippling you inside, that's eating you up from inside. That's number 3 prana leaks. And you know, a beautiful example that I learned is suppose you have a 3-storied building and in the 3rd story you have a small house. In Bengali we call it chile kotha, small house, and there is an AC. Sometimes ago you fit an AC there in case you need it, and the AC is turned on, and since you don't go to that room, you don't check your AC. Whenever the power bill comes, you always wonder, why is that so much power I consumed? How? You don't know how to figure it out. You are like, everything is under control, you have switched off everything that you are aware of, but that AC in that 3rd story room, that is turned on, and you never know this, neither have you checked until somebody pointed that out. So that AC that is running up, and for which we have to pay the power consumption bill ourselves, nobody else is gonna pay for that. We are paying for that every single month without even knowing it. In fact, in this case, every single day we are consuming that power without even noticing, and paying the bill for it, paying the price for it, is our unprocessed emotions. Guilt, shame, anger, fear, repercussion, whatever emotions that you are holding within you for some events of the past or some worries of the future, and if that is not processed, that's eating up our prana. That's number 3. Number 4, inconsistent boundaries with technology. So number 1 was oversharing without contentment, where we were not having boundaries with human beings, with people around us. But here, this one is the having no boundaries with technology. We are in a constant binging mode, not because we are consciously choosing it, but because we are in a mode of escape. We are doing that. We are engaging in that mindless scrolling, mindless binging, because our nervous system finds it as a route to escape the other thing that we might have to do else. Okay, so oftentimes we binge on this unconsciously just because we don't want to get to the other side of it, means what otherwise we should have done or could have done. Okay, and that is sucking up a lot of udana vayu also, because we are in a mode where we are in a decision fog, right? When we are switching from one app to the other, one tab to the other, browsing, when we are doing and taking, all these are little decisions we are taking, right? When we are constantly engaging our senses with this tech nuggets, what is happening is we are deciding something or the other. Should I buy this product? Should I click on this link? Should I go to the other link? Should I fill out this form? Should I blah 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 blah? So many decisions we are taking in a short span of time. So our expressions, our capability to express ourselves, decide and function properly, show up properly, that gets fogged because of so much of activity, mindlessly, unconsciously already, that has consumed up all our udana vayu energy. Makes sense? Of course, we are thinking about this, we are making like intellectual engagement also, we are having our eyes into that, so our indriyas are fully booked. Okay, so we are already getting sucked up so much in our outwardly expression that when it matters, we don't have anything else to do, we don't have the energy to do. So prana leak number 4, last part no less important. Prana leak number 5, eating in chaos, in a rush, and not considering eating as one of the primal sacred thing that is keeping us alive. Anna is Brahman, and if Anna is not considered, the food is not considered sacred, the process of eating the food is also not a yajna. It is something like a mundane, banal thing that a living organism has to do. But rather, think about this: jaisa ho an, vaisa ho tan, man, pran. However, whatever food you eat, first of all, whatever kind of food you are eating, whatever quality it has, sattvic, rajasic or tamasic, that will decide about your tan, your body, your man, your mind and your pran, your energy. And not only that, how we are eating. If we are eating in a chaos, like rushing, like I said, like not even considering eating as a sacred activity, then the food, the samana vayu will not function properly, and the prana will leak, because if the food is not digested well, it stays inside the body as undigested, uncooked, unmetabolized substances called toxins or ama. Okay, samana vayu is not helped at all with this chaotic eating, mindless eating too. So how what to do now? You mentioned, Dr. Dev, thank you so much for mentioning all the problems. Do you have solutions? Yes. Well, solutions means I cannot have the horse drink the water, but I can always take the horse to the water source. So I will talk about 3 yogic principles, yogic ways that we can bring in our daily life, how we can reclaim our vibrant, re-energized, conscious living selves through our practices. Okay, listen to this. First, to have some energy containing ritual, morning and night. Energy containing ritual, what does it mean? Meaning, for example, before we are getting pulled in different directions to have our prana leaked, we are consciously making a choice that we will sit, for example, after you wake up, sit in silence for 3 minutes, and and you visualize a soft white sphere around the body. That is your biomagnetic energy, your aura, your prana shakti that you carry with you. Have you heard when you walk around, sometimes you say, that guy has a very nice vibe. Oh, I don't like his vibe. I don't like her vibe. I like really cool. That her vibe is really cool. Have you heard of those? Or have you said those? Which means we are all carrying our energetic body around us, right? So sit for 3 minutes in silence. Think of that soft white sphere around you, and you say silently what I just mentioned. I honor my energy. I hold it with love and clarity today. And when you come back after your day, after your daily activity at night, before going to bed, I return to myself. Whatever is not mine, I release. Because throughout the day, throughout our activities, we pick up many things, right? So whatever is not mine, I release. Make sense? So I call it energy containing ritual or energy container ritual. We are containing, sustaining the energy consciously before we start interacting, which means any interaction is a leakage of prana. Number 1. Number 2 is apana practice. Very nicely, it's called yogic elimination audit. Yogic elimination audit is, as you know, that apana vayu I talked about at the beginning. Apana vayu is the downward flow energy. Whatever is going downward means you are eliminating, excreting out, not only just metabolic wastes but also energetic wastes. Do this to have a yogic elimination audit in how your apana vayu is eliminating. List 5 things that you are doing which does not support you anymore, by doing which you don't feel any more alive or aligned with your thoughts, emotions and actions. List 5 things that you are still doing but you don't align. Okay, that does not belong to you, that does not serve to you anymore. Maybe at one point, yes, but not anymore. And look at each one of the 5 things that you have done. And for each one of those, you say, I choose to release this because my energy is sacred. What to do? You can write it in a piece of paper, maybe 5 small pieces of paper. Write those 5 things, look at it, say what I just said. I release this from now on because it does not serve me anymore and my energy is sacred, meant to fulfill my swadharma, my righteous path I am about to follow, and this is not serving me, so I release it. I protect my sacred energy. And you can actually tear it out, burn it, flush it down, make sure that the toilet is not clogged. You can dig a hole under a big tree and put it, bury it under the soil, whatever you got. You do that thing. You can physically demolish that paper too, okay? Or you can just do it mentally, the exercise. I release it. Number 3, third and the last one, which is also very powerful, a silence window, Udana Vayu reset. Giving the Udana Vayu means, like I said, as I am speaking, my Udana Vayu is getting very much used because I am expressing myself out. Whenever is something coming from inward to outward, that's your Udana Vayu. So you give the Udana Vayu a reset by choosing an hour of window each day. It can be in the morning, it can be during the day, it can be at night, where you choose to be quiet. No speaking, no gesturing, no phone, no screens, nothing. Because whenever you gesture, you're also talking, right? You're engaging. Whenever you're looking at phone, like I said, it's a constant back and forth interactions, consuming. So no phone, no screens, no talking. Just be still, be with your breath, or you can actually in this time listen to mantras. One added benefit, added bonus I can give you is you can chant during this quiet 1 hour window the mantra of so. As you inhale, belly goes out, pause, hum. As you exhale, so, hum. Equal inhale, exhale. Like, remember the breathing I talked about in the previous session? If you have not watched the previous session yet, you can watch it here. 3 ancient yogic truths I gave you. One was this diaphragmatic breathing. So hum mantra you can add in during this Udana Vayu reset window. Okay, so which is called as silence window. Makes sense? So first one, quick recap: energy container ritual in the morning and at night. Imagine that soft sphere of light, and that's your energy body. You are protecting you, and you are not letting people interfere with it mindlessly because you are holding it tight. You are holding it tight in the sense you are protecting it carefully, mindfully. And Apana Vayu yogic elimination audit by releasing what is not serving you, and also having this silence window every single day, 1 hour. Okay, it can be fragmented into 2 parts, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Better to have it at one stretch. 1 hour of no talking, no communication, just being with yourself, being still with your breath, with your awareness. Okay, see, why is this important? Because when we leak prana, it is not just our energy leak. We leak more than our energy. What do we leak? We leak our alignment, we leak our inner clarity, we leak our joy, because for being joyful you need to be vibrant, full of energy. Suppose you are a parent and your child wants to play with you, but you come back home from your office and you have no energy left. So your joy is sucked up if your energy is leaked unconsciously. What happens when you seal those leaks? With these 3 yogic practices I talked about, when you actually start sealing these leaks, your intuition sharpens, your confidence returns, because now you are choosing to interact where you want to interact, not that you are being forced to interact. It's your conscious choice, and you are not hustling anymore. You are attracting, you are mindfully manifesting the right kind of energy, right kind of people around you who are also living in similar kind of vibrations. You know, the yogis say very wonderfully this thing, that when the breath wanders, the mind is unsteady. But when the breath is still, the mind is still and the self shines. In the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, very 3rd sutra, 2nd sutra I talked about Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. 3rd sutra talks about Tadadrashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam. Swarupe Avasthanam. Tadadrashtu, when the mind is still, that's when the seer sees itself clearly, its own form. Otherwise, the chitta vritti, the fluctuations of the mind take over and we cannot see our reflection clearly. We think the ripples are our identity, our nature, the distorted image. No. So, by saving these prana leaks, what happens is our breath is still, and when the breath is still, our mind is still, and when the mind is still, then the seer sees themselves very clearly. We are aware of our true nature. At least that's the doorway to get access to that. Now, if this, whatever we discussed, all these 5 prana leaks and the 3 yogic hacks by which you can start sealing these leaks, if these tips and tricks and these hacks resonated with you, and you are quite completely done of getting those half-measure fixes and those bandage capes and those superficial level of feel-good factors, if you are done with that and you want your deeper inner healing, then book a discovery call with me, 30 minutes, and that too free, just because I want to serve you and check what is stopping you from living your optimal life. Hit on this link on the iCard above and also in the link in the description. Book a discovery call, 30 minutes, and that's free completely, where you and I will check where exactly your life is having prana leaks, and we will make a customized plan for you, how we can seal those leaks and make sure you are saving up all those energy and channelizing it to live your most vibrant and holistically healthy, optimal life. With that, I want to draw a close with this day 80 of 108 days of Surya Namaskara or Sun Salutations Challenge. I can't wait to see you again on day 81. Do join me. And by the way, if you are still waiting to hit that like, subscribe, bell notification icon and all of that, you know what I'm talking about. Do that. Write me in the comment section, by the way, for sure, one thing or two things among these 5 prana leaks that you promise, that you take a pledge to be more conscious about and start working toward sealing those leaks. Thank you. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.